There's a reason people laugh about skipping leg day. It's the part most avoid. It's hard. It's painful. It leaves you sore in ways you don't forget. But behind the joke lies a truth far bigger than the gym. Skipping leg day is skipping the foundation. It's pretending you can build strength on shortcuts. Pretending you can rise high without first learning to carry the weight where it matters most. And life works the same way. You can polish the surface, chase the easy victories, collect the quick wins. But if you ignore the hard, unglamorous, consistent work, the foundation, you'll crumble when it counts. This isn't about fitness. This is about how you live, how you show up, how you keep building when no one is watching. Because in the end, the things you skip today are the very things life will test tomorrow. Before greatness is built, the ground must be tested. And we call that lesson 1. The foundation always matters. It's easy to ignore the foundation. Nobody compliments it. Nobody notices it. But the moment weight comes crashing down, the truth shows. Everything stands or falls on what's beneath. Life works the same way. The basics, the discipline, the habits, you either build or skip. They hold you up when everything gets heavy. And when you skip them, when you cut corners, the cracks show. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually the weight exposes everything you neglected. Think about the body. Strong legs carry everything else. You can build a broad chest, sculpt your arms, polish the surface, but if the foundation is weak, it doesn't last. The same is true in life. You can chase success, appearance, applause, but if you neglect the hard, unglamorous work, discipline, consistency, resilience, sooner or later, life will put weight on you. And when it does, you will feel every rep you skipped. Let me tell you a fact. Shortcuts are never free. They're loans with interest. Every skip step builds a debt you'll eventually have to pay. Skipping sleep, skipping effort, skipping discipline. Maybe you get away with it for a while, but when the storm comes, when responsibility piles up, when stress bears down, you'll realize you've been living on a hollow frame. The foundation always matters because life will test it, not once, not twice, but endlessly. In your work, in your relationships, in your own sense of self. And in those tests, your foundation doesn't lie. It tells the truth of how much you've prepared, how much you've committed, how much you've invested in yourself when nobody was watching. And here's the thing, the foundation isn't glamorous. It's not the part people praise. It's the early mornings, the quiet discipline, the choices no one notices. It's showing up when you don't feel like it, pushing through when comfort calls louder than commitment. That's what builds the structure strong enough to carry everything else. You might not see the cracks right away. You might think that skipping the hard parts doesn't matter, but life has a way of putting pressure exactly where you've been avoiding it. And in that moment, you'll know if you built something solid or if you only built for show. So understand this. The foundation is not optional, it is everything. Build it with consistency, build it with discipline, build it with the strength of doing the work you don't want to do, because one day the weight will come. And when it does, the foundation you built or failed to build will decide whether you crumble or whether you rise. Most people think avoiding pain is smart, but it's not safety, it's storage. And that truth defines lesson 2. The pain you avoid becomes the weakness you carry. There are moments when you feel the weight of discomfort pressing down on you, and everything inside screams to escape it. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, that maybe tomorrow will be easier, that maybe avoiding it now won't cost you anything. But it always costs you, because every time you avoid pain, every time you dodge the challenge in front of you, you don't erase it, you drag it with you. And over time, what you thought you escaped becomes the very chain that holds you down. The truth is, the pain you avoid doesn't disappear. It waits, it lingers, it gathers interest like a debt you never paid. That conversation you were too afraid to have, the fear grows. That workout you skipped because it hurt, the weakness compounds. That opportunity you turned away from because you didn't want to fail, the regret becomes heavier than the effort ever would have been. Let me tell you a fact. Growth demands discomfort. There is no way around it. Muscles don't strengthen without tearing. Confidence doesn't build without risk. Courage doesn't appear without fear. Every area of your life that you want to expand requires you to face the very thing you'd rather escape. Avoid it and you stay stuck. Face it and you evolve. But it's not just about growth, it's about survival. The pain you avoid today becomes the weakness that cripples you when life inevitably gets hard. When tragedy hits, when responsibility piles up, when the weight of reality presses on your chest, you'll feel every moment you chose comfort over confrontation. Weakness isn't built in a single day. It's built in the quiet choices to step back when you should have stepped forward.
And yet here's the shift. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the pathway. It's the evidence that you are doing something that matters, something that stretches you, something that builds you into someone stronger than you were yesterday. If you stop running from it, if you face it head on, it doesn't break you, it reshapes you. Think about your own life. The hardest moments you faced, the ones that nearly tore you apart, didn't they also carve strength into you that nothing else could? The nights you thought you couldn't survive, but did. The battles you never wanted to fight, but had to. You came out of them different, deeper, stronger. That's the paradox. The pain you embrace becomes the strength you carry. So the choice is always the same. Run from the pain now and carry weakness later. Or confront it now and build the strength you'll need tomorrow. There's no escaping this law. Life will always circle back to test the very places you avoided. The pain you avoid becomes the weakness you carry. But the pain you face, that becomes the foundation you stand on. And when the storms come, that foundation will be the only thing keeping you from falling apart. You don't need perfect days to change your life. You just need to show up on imperfect ones. And that's what lesson 3 is all about. Consistency beats perfection. You wait for the perfect day, the perfect mood, the perfect burst of motivation, but those days don't come often, do they? More often, you're tired, you're stressed, you're unprepared, and in those moments you tell yourself, not today. You wait for a better tomorrow, but here's the truth. Progress was never built on perfect days. It was built on the days you showed up, even when you didn't want to. Perfection is a trap. It convinces you that if you can't give everything, then you should give nothing. And that is how dreams die, not in failure, but in waiting, in delaying, in letting all or nothing become an excuse for nothing at all. Let me tell you a fact. Your life is not shaped by what you do occasionally. It's shaped by what you do consistently. One workout won't change you. One healthy meal won't change you, but the act of showing up again and again and again, that is where transformation lives. Think about it. The strongest people you admire are not the ones who did it perfectly. They're the ones who did it relentlessly. They stumbled, they failed, they got distracted, but they came back every time. They stacked ordinary days on top of each other until the extraordinary appeared. And this applies to you. You don't need to be flawless. You don't need to wait until everything is lined up. You just need to show up, even when you're tired, even when it feels small, even when it looks imperfect, because consistency is a quiet force. It doesn't shout. It doesn't impress anyone in the moment. But over time, it builds momentum so powerful that nothing can stop it. Perfection will make you fragile. The moment you slip, you'll break. Consistency makes you unshakable, because when you learn to keep moving, even in the mess, even in the struggle, you build a strength that doesn't depend on circumstances. So don't wait for flawless days. Don't wait for the perfect plan, the perfect mood, the perfect version of yourself. Progress doesn't need perfection. Progress needs persistence.
And the truth is, your greatest power is not in how perfectly you perform. It's in how relentlessly you return. Because in the end, it's not the extraordinary effort once in a while that defines you. It's the ordinary effort repeated consistently that creates a life you never thought possible. Consistency beats perfection. Always.